Like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
Town fans, hello and welcome back to Matchday Preview Live. Streaming as always on X, YouTube, Facebook and Town TV. Proudly brought to you by our headline digital partner, Fleximize, the UK's award-winning lender offering fast, flexible business loans. Well, today the Blues are in South Wales to take on Swansea City. Another tough away test awaits. But Ipswich have lost just twice in their last 10 league matches. After Tuesday's draw with Watford, the team will be looking to take all 3 points as they head into the international break. We've got a packed show for you as always as we build up to this championship clash. We'll look back at Tuesday night's action against Watford, rewind to the last time we faced the Swans and bring you all the latest talking points, analysis and updates as the team finalises preparations. As always, we want you Town fans to get involved. Share your score predictions and thoughts in the chat. And get involved with the hashtag TownTV. The countdown to kickoff starts now. Welcome everybody to Matchday Preview Live. So here we are, Town fans, in our pop-up studio here at Ipswich Town Football Club. We are, of course, building up to Ipswich Town's trip to Swansea City with a couple of Ipswich Town legends, as always. Adam Tanner, welcome back to Town TV. And Ian Westlake, good to see you on this side of the camera for a change, away from the commentary box for a bit.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Nice to be here.
Good to have you both back. We'll build up, of course, to Ipswich Town versus Swansea. But firstly, folks, let's take a look back at those midweek highlights. Of course, Ipswich Town held to a 1-1 draw with Watford midweek.
Centre circle, looking for options further ahead of him. Gives it to the Dutchman Matasiwa, gives it then inside to Kayuste. He gets a neat 1-2, moves to the top of the 18-yard box after sending it through the legs of Pollock and then strikes one, just dragging it wide of that right-hand post. And then a lovely back heel back to the left back, left side of the 18-yard box, pulled across goal. Imran Loser tucks it in from 10 yards. The halfway line. Kayuste, though, with possession, gives it wide to his fellow Scandinavian, Walle Egeli, supported on the overlap by Furlong, who sends it towards the far post. Struggling there, perhaps just got the ball caught in the lights tonight as that came in from Johnson. Beautiful path into Jaden Philogene, who's in behind and he tucks it into the bottom left-hand corner. Super pass to lay it into Jaden Philogene, and he took it so well with his right instep. In swinger from Ben Johnson, clipped in. Cedric Kipre with the header. Oh, it's off the outside of the post. Matasiwa now rolls into Akpom, top right hand corner of the 18-yard box. Akpom, right-footed, fires it on goal, beaten away by Selvik. And long ball over the top in the meantime, collected by Doumbia, just in line with the 18-yard box. He's allowed to cut inside, shoots, and my goodness, that had a bit of dip on it. Just shimmies away from the trouble of Vivalo Semedo. Now Jaden Philogene moving into the penalty area from the left flank. His cross is cut out by Ngakia. He rolls it to the edge of the box instead. Kipre strikes it, and that is a centre-back's effort if ever I saw one. Then pings it back out to the left to Ben Johnson. Clark then rolls it into the feet of Jack Taylor, left side of the 18-yard box. Gets it onto the right boot, does really well to create some space for himself, and he's now into the feet of Clark, who's got space on the left sideline, and he's got in behind Marama. Now moves to the top of the 18-yard box. 3 defenders around him as he somehow finds a way through, getting down towards the byline, pulls back for a Thon, who gets a touch onto it. The script out to the right side. Walle Egeli, with his first time with possession in the last few moments, sends one in. A Thon with a free header from 5 yards out. Greaves feeds it back down the left for Clark once more. Looks to take on Loser and feeds it around him into Greaves, who turns his man, pulls it back for Taylor. And this is his fellow substitute, the Big Dane, as it's thrown into a area of the penalty area with 0 yet. Lays it off short to Jack Clark as the Moroccans now got back to do some defending. Clark sends it into the box, super header, beaten away by the goalkeeper. The penalty spot, scrapping for some space. It's in towards that far post, nodded down by O'Shea. A Thon jumping at it. Nunez skies it off the left boot.
Ipswich Town 1, Watford 1. And after Marcelino Nunes's brilliant 2 free-kick goals against QPR, I think we'll let him off with that chance that he skyrocketed into the crowd there. I think the ball's still coming down from that, but it just sort of summarises Ipswich Town's night, didn't it? It's just one of those days where the ball just wouldn't go in for us.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, disappointing result in the end with the chances we've created, especially those ones right at the death there. Nunes, as you said, 2 brilliant free kicks. Probably just needed a little bit of composure there. But obviously the emotions run away with him there and he slashed at it. But I'm sure he'll be disappointed with that. He sets himself high standards.
Westy, I mean, what are your thoughts sort of watching those highlights back? And we've obviously had a few days now to think back on the Ipswich-Watford draw. Did you sort of come away from that disappointed, or do you think it was a bit unlucky? Because Ipswich had so many chances and played great football.
Yeah, I thought we were good, really good. I thought we played really well. Probably some of the best chances we've created at home. I just think we should score them. I think it's quite poor from Azon, really. Like, they're 2 headers, I as well as the Nunez one. I really think the Azon chances, he hasn't quite got that goal yet, has he, which he needs. The headers from inside the 6-yard box, just has to score them. Like the first one, doesn't even hit the target. I think it's a brilliant ball from Egeli. And then the second one, again, Clark does so well, cuts back, whips it on his right foot, and he just heads it straight at the keeper. Massive chances, and we're on a bit of a run where 3 points is huge at the moment. It can suddenly take you up 3-4 spots. So I think missed opportunity, although a good performance.
Obviously going 1 down as well, Emre Luza scoring for Watford. And then obviously you've got a bit of an uphill struggle, but Town actually struck back well, didn't they? Jaden Philogene with his 6th goal of the season. And important to hit back quickly, which Ipswich did well.
Yeah, definitely. Bouncing back again, going behind is becoming a common theme, but coming back straight away, I thought Kipre done really well, bringing the ball out of defence, sliding it into Jaden, and then inevitable, really, the form he's on. It was a really cool, calm finish from him. So that was a positive, but we really got to eliminate the teams trying to eliminate them going ahead in each game when we got to come back.
Just gives you an uphill struggle, doesn't it? I looked at a graphic of the chances created over the course of the match. A lot of blue dots where Ipswich Town obviously had their multiple chances. Just 1 yellow dot in the box for Watford, and that was, of course, their goal. I mean, if you looked at that map not knowing the score, you'd say Ipswich probably won 4-5-1, maybe 4-5-0, but it's just one of those days when Watford scored their only real meaningful chance and Ipswich missed a ton of theirs.
It happens, doesn't it? You have games where you have loads of chances, you don't take any. We've had ones this season where I think we've played really well and actually come away losing games. It's one of those days, isn't it? I don't think it's too much to read into it. Just going back to what Adam said, the Kipre pass for Philogene's goal, I think he has been superb since coming back in. He finds balls through the lines into our attacking players, really progressive passing. I think he's been a huge asset to the team since we brought him in.
As you've mentioned it, let's take a look at that Jaden Philogene goal, because it was another calm and composed finish by Jaden. His 6th goal of the season. When he's in that position, you back him 9 times out of 10 to score those chances. And there's a really nice angle that we'll see at the end. He has got a serious eye for goal, and I think we're seeing some of sort of the best of Jaden that we've seen since he arrived, and long may it continue.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he's got so much ability on the ball, so relaxed and calm. So as you see here, Kipre's come forward. Philogene makes his mind up really with the run, but it's a beautifully weighted pass from Kipre, and then he's opened his body up and bent it in the corner. Like top quality finish, but all round good play. As Westy said, Kipre coming out from the back gives you that extra dimension.
This is that angle. That's that ball from Kipre that West was talking about. Look at this for a cool finish, by the way. Love that angle.
Yeah, it's just the way he opens his hips. If you're going to play inverted, so if you're going to play as a right footer off the left, and you're going to come in like that, you've just got to clear your hips so you can actually start the ball off outside the post, and he just does it so easily. He's awesome, and he's on real form this season.
He really is. Even Azon had a couple of big chances. You mentioned earlier that perhaps if George Hirst had been on a couple of the end of them, given he was in some good form, wasn't he, after a couple of goals against QPR. I know you're a massive fan of Hirst, as we all are, but it's not just what he contributes in terms of scoring goals, it's what he does off the ball that impresses you the most, I think, Westy, isn't it?
Yeah, work rate's incredible. Starts every press off, and then balls up to him. Like, he's fighting, generally it's the Championship, right? So you've got 2 big centre-halves who just want to kick you, head into the back of you. All game he's fighting them off, holding the ball up, bringing the likes of Jaden into the game, linking with Q-Stay. Like, he's so important to this team. I'd say if he's out, if we lost him right now, he would be our biggest loss in the squad. He's that good.
Yeah, as on as well, of course, he's been playing well. He needs that first goal, you feel, doesn't he? To as a striker, you need goals, don't you? And it's coming. It's definitely coming.
Yeah, most of his chances have been coming off the bench, and sometimes that's a little bit more difficult. I mean, he started at Bristol City, but he's a different style striker to George Hirst. George Hirst provides that focal point and physical presence through the middle, whereas On's a little bit more busy, a little bit more of a terrier-like. But I think he'll be okay, if he gets more chances, more game minutes. As you said, though, he just needs that goal. It's been fine margins. But unfortunately, at this level in the Championship, those sort of chances he missed the other night, we need to capitalise on those chances.
Westy, we love your analytical brain here on Town TV. Usually it's in the commentary box. We've let you in front of the camera today. And actually, we asked you before you came on the show today, is there anything in particular you'd like to talk about? To which you replied, Walle Egeli. I mean, you're going to talk in a little bit more detail about the contributions he's made. Listen, he plays predominantly on the right wing. He has said in a press conference this week he sees himself potentially as a number 10. When we spoke about this before we went on there, you sort of compared him a little bit to Omari Hutchinson. But in terms of his development. But talk to us a little bit about Walle Egeli, because I know you've been very impressed with what you've seen by Town's sort of star signing this summer.
So to start with, he's only 19. So he comes in, we signed him quite late on in the transfer window, so he doesn't know anyone around him. And I thought, first couple of games, he looked quite quiet. And I was a little bit like, what have we signed here? And he's just been brilliant. He's got better every game. He started completing 90 minutes. Physically for 19, he's an animal, really quick. Very good with both feet. We've seen him, first few games, really only cutting back on his left. And then, can't remember the last game, he chucks in a step over, beats him on the outside, stands one up for George's goal. So he then starts getting assists. Then in that game, he has 3 chances and should probably score. So he's adding shots and assists to his game. And also he does this wonderful move, which obviously they've worked on in training, where he cuts back and he can ping like a 70-yard diag, which I've played with a lot of wingers, right? Wingers aren't known for 70-yard diags, are they? But he's got that in his locker, so he can switch play for us as well. Just talent, I think he's going to be massive this season, and they're just going to got to keep playing him.
19 years of age. It's incredible what he's achieving so far, isn't it? And you mentioned that assist. We're going to watch that back now, and we'll ask your thoughts on this, Adam, because it's an amazing ball into the box for Hirst. He absolutely puts it on a plate for him. Obviously, Hirst has to finish, but talk to us about this chance.
Yeah, I think, as Wesley said, he's known so far for being cutting inside on his left. He's done a step over there and dinked a lovely ball up there to George Hirst. He's a powerful lad. Like I say, for 19, he's got the physical attributes of someone a lot older. He's strong, he's quick, and I think you back Kieran and the club's judgment on spending that much money on a player, so I think he's going to be a real asset, and he's just getting better and better.
And as a striker, those are the balls you want to be getting regularly into the box. And Kieran talks about creating chances, about getting balls into the box. And, it's a statistics game, isn't it? If you create enough big chances, you're going to get goals. Okay, obviously against Watford, that wasn't so much the case. But normally speaking, as we saw against QPR, balls in the box, goals come.
Yeah, definitely. The more crosses, the more chances you can get as strikers. I think there was a real mix-up at the start of the season. The players just didn't know each other. So now Egeli knows that he's going to go on the outside, but the last few games, Furlong, who's been quite a solid right back, really good signing, he's overlapping now. I think we score a goal against QPR from the overlap, but him overlapping actually now allows Egeli to come back on his left foot a bit more, so those little relationships are starting to come, and we'll see more chances. And I think there comes a time where we just start blowing teams away. When I see the players on the pitch and I see who we're playing against, I think we're light years ahead of most of them. It just hasn't quite clicked.
Was there a level of expectation, do you think, with the playing staff, with the managers, that the season would take a little bit of time to click into gear? Because a lot of new signings, as Westy mentioned, and it's inevitable, players need some time to get to know each other, need that sort of unspoken relationship where they know someone's going to make a run, and you saw Kipre feeding the ball to Jaden. That synergy kind of comes over time, doesn't it?
Definitely, yeah. It's been a big overhaul of the squad, loads of ins, loads of outs, so it does take time. Partnerships and relationships built, they don't happen overnight, and that will be worked on in training on a daily basis. But yeah, I think as Westy said, the strength is in our starting lineup, and as well the bench, the whole squad. Kieran's utilising his squad again today. It's a tough league. This is a real tough, brutal league, and you're going to need everyone to sort of come to the party.
Just finally on Walle Egeli, we're going to take a look at his heat map against Watford. I know you're a big fan of these heat maps, Wesley, so we're going to ask you to pick this apart. It's pretty obvious where he likes playing, isn't it?
Yeah, well, he's playing his position. They want him to play on the right, and he's staying where he's supposed to play. It's interesting, there's a few times where he's popped up inside, and you saying he could play as a 10. I was thinking, when we saw Hutchinson come in to start with, we started him on the right-hand side, and then we ended up playing him in behind the striker, and I think he's got the vision, he's got the strikes. I think he'll do well as a 10. I don't know if we'll see it maybe this season or as he grows, but something I think he could go and do really well.
Just finally, we've sort of talked about a few players, haven't we? We've talked about Jaden, we've talked about Walle Egeli. Anyone else that's sort of grabbed your attention over the past few weeks? Someone that's really sort of starting to grab your attention, that's really starting to sort of nail down their starting position?
Well, I think the one player is Matchday. He's
Matchday. You've not quite nailed that pronunciation. It's a difficult one, to be fair.
Matchday, yeah. Azor, isn't it? Yeah. So we go with Azor. I think he's the only player of that type that we've got in the squad. He didn't play when he was suspended. I think we missed him. I think his own admission, he probably feel he could improve on the ball, but he's that sort of dog of war in there that sort of provides that bite and breaking the play up from the opposition. So I think he's probably one of the first names on the sheet as well.
You mentioned a few moments ago George Hirst was the player we'd missed the most. I'll raise you that and say Azor Matasiwa could well be one of those players that if he wasn't, I mean, we've seen him missing out, and he kind of, I don't want to compare him to Morsey, but he's kind of got that sort of central midfield, sort of, the assertiveness is there, isn't it?
You can compare him, it's okay.
Thank you.
I compare him and I would say he's better. I think he's a step up from Morsey, a captain who led us to out of League One, out of the Championship and into the Premier League, and I think he was unbelievable, and I had a lot of time for Morsey, but I think Matasi was a better version of Morsey. I think he's more athletic. I think he probably makes better tackles. Doesn't quite get booked as much, although he's already got 5 bookings this season, but Morsey would have had 6 or 7. He's fantastic. I think he struggled to start with when he came in, like the speed of it, and now it's just easy for him. I think his use of the ball's really good. Short passes, nothing like, he's not a clever passer, he does really simple things well, but that ability to win the ball back, people talk about if you're quick or strong or you can score a goal. Winning the ball back is a hell of an ability, especially now, where regains are so important, and yeah, he's by far the best in the league.
Interesting. Strong words there, and I think we'll all probably agree with you on that one, Westy. All right, we're going to turn our attention now to the Ipswich Town Foundation, and you'll both agree. I know you've both sort of had your contribution to the foundation. Been phenomenal. You've probably been following the stories over the course of this week, and we're going to focus now on Charlie's story. He joined the youth mental health programme a few years ago, and now at the age of 17, he's giving back as a volunteer. Here's Charlie's story.
So I started participating with the foundation in the mental health scheme in, I think it was 2022, and it was a big help for me. And then I went on to do some of the soccer schools, and I joined the PDC, and then that's how I ended up becoming a volunteer. It's really good fun because I can understand the position that people have been in and the how appreciative I felt of having the help. So if I can give it back, then that means the world to me. So normally, it's normally about 2 hours before the game. The kids get in, and then we do a match tour. We go into the boardroom and stuff, look at the replicas of trophies, and then we go and sit in the director's box before taking some penalties. And if we have time, we see the players arrive, and that's nice to see the kids really happy. And then we normally go and sit in the dugouts and then talk about where everyone's going to stand and what they have to do when they go out onto the pitch. I get literal chills because I'm so close to everyone, and the atmosphere even in the stands as well is incredible, so even being on the pitch is so much better. I would just say just go, and if you have anything you need to speak about, just speak about it, because no one, you'll get help because the guys here are really good, and if you have a problem they will help you. It means so much to me because they've helped me so much, and the least I can do is just try and give back in one way, and being a volunteer is a really good way, in my opinion, of giving back.
What a confident and positive young man Charlie is. That was his story there, and we've all been watching on in admiration for everything that the foundation does. A good example there from Charlie, who's obviously profited from the foundation, now volunteering, and as a 17-year-old young man, just bossing the show. What a confident young lad he is.
Yeah, the foundation have been brilliant for the local community, and Charlie's story is a great example of that. They invest a lot of money. The credit to the club. They put themselves out there, put on a lot of dues and organisations that help, sponsors. It's a credit to the club, and I think Dan Palfrey is the leader of the foundation. He's doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, he really is. Westy, you obviously volunteer for the foundation as well. Talk to us a little bit about your contribution and your sort of takeaway from the foundation.
Yeah, so the foundation have been brilliant for the women's team and the girls' team. So the younger age groups that used to fall under the women's team now fall under the foundation because they just didn't have the funding for it. So the foundation have picked it up, and it's brilliant. So many coaches, like some volunteer, some obviously are on the books, but they're out at schools getting all the fans in. So this is the brilliant thing. You're connecting with people and helping them. But they then love the club, and they should. It's a real community club, so the connection's there, and they support us. There's 30,000 every week. The least we should do is, if someone's getting a bit older, we should have coffee morning. It's brilliant. They love to talk about the old games. I've been to a couple of the coffee mornings where they haven't got a clue who I am, haven't got a clue what day of the week it is, but they can remember Adam's goal against Norwich. It's bizarre what they remember, and it's brilliant, and their faces are so happy, and this is all put on by the foundation. And you have the disabled mornings, you have the walk-in football. They obviously look after the girls. Like I said, they do so many good things, and then it pays back because everyone loves it around the town, and then we get 30,000 every week. So it's a brilliant cycle, and yeah, the club it's thanks to the new owners. Mark Ashton's done it. It's really changed since that's come in. They couldn't be doing a better job with it.
Lovely summary of that, and great to hear about your experiences. I know, Adam, obviously you've got a lot of experience with the foundation, and the players as well. They get involved, don't they? They're out week in, week out, a couple of appearances a week. I think it is over the course of most weeks. You remember all the work that Chio and Chappers have done over the years. We've seen Daro, Shea out in the community, and it bridges that gap, doesn't it, between the supporters, the 30,000 that turn up at Portman Road, pay their money, watch the team, and of course the players and that connection. It's fantastic.
Yeah, well, they're local heroes, aren't they, to these people? So the lads going out and putting a personal appearance in means so much to people of all different ages, and they go, I think they do 2 a week, and also the ex-players get involved. I know when, the dementia cafes and things like that, the likes of Roger Osborne, Mick Lambert, they get involved. It's just a credit to everybody involved. It's a real team effort, and people of all ages benefit from it. So it can only be a positive thing for the club.
Yeah, it really can. And this week, the Empower Hub was launched with the club, which it offers supporters and families activities. It's just again another great scheme launched by the club, and they're constantly on the ball with these kind of things.
Yeah, just developing it all the time. The moment you stand still in anything, whether it be sport or the foundation or something, then you end up going backwards, don't you? So they have to keep pushing new ideas, new activities. I watched did you see the O'Shea one where he went out and picked the guy up from? Yeah. That's just unbelievable, isn't it? You just watch it, it's just so heartwarming. It's lovely to see stories like that, and it's just nice that it's so well covered. The guys in the media team do a great job. They get it out so people can see. It's fine doing the work, but it is nice that people realise just how good a club it is.
It's authentic as well, isn't it? The camera in the car with Dara who's driving, you just get a real feel for what it's like.
If you haven't seen it, anyone out there, go and have a watch. It's awesome.
Yeah, check it out, guys. And of course, the fundraising dinner as well this week, £36,000. Well, I know you've been involved with fundraising dinners in the past. We're going to see some of the pictures now. I mean, this is another great initiative by the club, and £36,000 raised as well.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal amount. I mean, I think it's the third one. I was privileged to be the guest speaker last year. To get ex-players, Connor Chaplin was there last year, and Fabio Wardley was there again this year. I think Connor Townsend and Wes Burns were in attendance. So again, it's really fully well supported by the club. Mark Ashton was there, and Kieran made an appearance as well. So, you can't ask any more from the club. The two figureheads of the club putting their time and effort into this dinner was absolutely fantastic.
And those smiles are just all genuine. The club photographer Richard's caught the moment beautifully, as he always does. Everyone's just having fun with it, and that I think is a big part of these fundraising dinners. Is in the sense of enjoyment, the sense of joy around the club is not just on the pitch, not just watching the team, it's everything that's done around and behind the scenes. And these fundraising dinners I can't emphasise enough, £36,000 raised. It's just fantastic.
Yeah, and as much as it's fun and all the great things, the money's really important, because the foundation can't just run on donation, or they can't just run on the club. Like, they do have to make some money to then go and invest it in all of these coffee mornings and all the other brilliant things they do. So the people who come and put their hands in their pockets and give money, they're enabling all this brilliant work. So they are really important, the people who come and donate.
Right, we are going to really get stuck into our build-up to Swansea versus Ipswich Town, and we're going to start by taking a rewind look at the last time Ipswich Town travelled to Swansea. It was February 2024 when Ipswich Town were 2-1 winners. Let's remind ourselves of that match firstly.
Good afternoon everyone and welcome to Wales, with Ipswich Town looking to record a second away league triumph in the space of 4 days.
Yeah, first 5 minutes I thought we were a bit slow. We really got into it now, passing the ball nicely. The surface is perfect for us. If we can get this ball moving, we should cut this team open.
And Broadhead's through here. It's Nathan Broadhead one-on-one. Broadhead, oh that's lovely. That is lovely from Nathan Broadhead. Swansea with the free kick on the far side. Here's Matt Grimes. Grimes clipping it in towards the back post, and a loose ball drops for Jerry Yates. And Yates has equalised.
It worked. I haven't seen it before.
Not one out of the coaching manuals. Leif Davis is found. That's a great ball forward to Davis. Davis cutting it back for Chaplin. It's Chaplin! It's 50 up for Connor Chaplin! The day after his 27th birthday. The final whistle blows and Ipswich have held on to win away at Swansea for just the third time ever.
Ipswich Town victorious against Swansea the last time we travelled to Swansea, of course 2-1 back in February 2024. And we're having a bit of a discussion then about who actually remains in Ipswich Town's starting lineup, sort of who was playing in that match. We won't talk about Cam Burgess because he's playing for Swansea today. I think the only player we could think of, we'll talk about the lineup in a bit, was Leif Davis.
Yep, just Leif. It just shows the turnover. It's been crazy, and how you have to knit new teams together quite quickly these days. The turnover in players is massive, but if there was one you could keep out of that squad, it probably would be Leif that I'd pick.
Really?
He's fantastic.
Yeah, Leif is fantastic, isn't he? And again, just sort of picking up from what Westy was saying, that turnover, it's a key talking point, I think, this season, and one that, we have to all address. Ipswich have been up and down a division since that squad that we all love and will always love, because you get promoted, you'll never forget that bunch of players. We'll all remember teams of the past and we'll fondly look back on them. It's a new team now, and as much as they're learning about each other, the fans are still sort of learning everything they can about the players and falling in love with a new group of players.
Yeah, definitely. You look at, that was a completely different squad. We look sitting here watching that there. There's Leif. I think Leif, maybe Walton, Harry Clark.
Hirst, he was injured, I think, at that point,
Burns.
wasn't he?
Yeah, but that, as you said, that squad that won the consecutive promotions, they'll go down Ipswich folklore. They'll always be remembered of that. Morsey will always be the captain that did it. That they're written in the fabric of the club now. But the fans need to be realistic now. It does take time to build that. That squad wasn't built overnight either. So it's going to take time, and we've seen that. We've sort of been a bedding in period at the start of the season. I think if we can get on a run of 2 or 3 wins, we really show our strength in the league and push ourselves right to the top.
Cameron Burgess, we'll talk about him for a moment. He will obviously, we'll talk about Swansea's lineup, but he's obviously in that squad. What advantage does that have for Swansea? Players come and go, and you'll always have players of former clubs lining up against each other week in, week out. But Cameron Burgess was a big part of what happened here at Ipswich Town. Is that a big advantage for them today?
Yeah, huge part. Like, having been fortunate enough to be in the dressing room at times with them, and I did my coaching badge with Cam, so I know Cam. Probably after Morsey, he was the next biggest leader in the team. So he was a huge voice, huge personality, and I think a big loss when he left. He will feel very strange today, I think. It's not. I don't know what you were like. I didn't like playing my old clubs. I hated coming back to Ipswich. It just felt weird. I felt like, what am I doing in the away dressing room when you should normally be in the home? Like, you felt like you were walking into the wrong place. You're seeing a lot of familiar faces, saying hello to everyone, but then deep down you want to beat them. You want to get the better of them. So it's a strange feeling trying to do that. And in terms of him knowing the manager and knowing how to play against us, not only are we a very different squad, this year Kieran has completely changed our playing style. We play completely differently. The formation's miles away from what it is. So tactically, he'll have no knowledge of what we do. So it's not something that he can stop us, because we are like night and day from what we've done for the last 3 years.
It's interesting that, isn't it? It's actually possibly a bit of a disadvantage, isn't it? Because he might say, well, no, they'll set up this way. But, I mean, listen, he's not going to give away too much because you mentioned so much has changed. But going by what Wesley was saying there, it's not going to be a huge advantage for Swansea having a former Ipswich player in their squad today.
No, they'd have done their due diligence anyway. They'd have sent scouts to watch us. They'll know exactly how we'll potentially set up with maybe different players. But it will be strange for Cam. He was a pivotal member of the squad. He played a lot, started a lot of games, came on in a lot of games. For whatever reason, he made the decision to leave the club. I think they were quite keen to keep him, but he's made that decision. He's a Swansea player now. But again, he'll be fondly remembered by the Ipswich Town fans as being part of a really, really legendary squad.
And rightly so. I think we give him a little bit of airtime because, you know, we'll always have a lot of love for Cameron Burgess. Listen, it's been a busy week, not just for Ipswich, for Swansea as well. Obviously, with the midweek fixtures, Swansea losing to Preston, Ipswich drawing with Watford, but you'll see here. Marcelino Nunes, by the way, there's always some spark there, isn't it? He's clearly a character.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying himself, doesn't he? It's nice, though. You want personalities. Like, absolutely brilliant to have personalities around the club. And he's one of them. The fans have taken him straight away, like scoring two goals the other day is not going to hurt his case. I just wish he'd smashed that one in against Watford on Tuesday. But no, he's a good lad, and it's nice to see players like that around.
And you see those training pictures, Harry Clark, Wes Burns, Leif Davis, I mean, Waltz as well, to name a few. There's still a few of the old guard knocking around. But importantly, that togetherness within that group. I'm not sure how much you can tell from those training shots, again, because the cameras aren't going to be there for the real tactical preparation, are they? When the cameras are there, they'll have a bit of fun. They'll all gather around in a circle, do a bit of passing. The real stuff, you're never going to see that probably, are you?
Well, I very much doubt it, you know. But the
Is that how it is?
No. A lot of the work will be done on the training ground behind closed doors, and also that I know they do a lot of work in, you know, on the videos and looking at analysis of clubs. Something we never did in my era. You know, that was all left to the scouts. But I know most of the players will know exactly how the individuals will be expected to perform for Swansea today. But yeah, the squad, I'm the same with you, Wesley. When new players come in, you know, there's a group of, say, 20 plus of you. You spend a lot of time with each other, so it doesn't take long for the camaraderie to build up and the banter to sort of fly around. And that's a real big strength for any squad.
Yeah, it really is. And we don't want to focus on the league table too much. I don't think there's much point at the minute because we've got a game in hand and it's still at an early stage of the season. But it's one of those sort of periods of the season. You win a couple, suddenly you're up in third place. You lose a couple, you're suddenly in the bottom half of the table. How insignificant is the league table at the moment? Is there a significance? Because there is a sort of psychological difference to being in the upper echelons of the table.
Yeah, I think there's always it's a big part to play, right? The whole idea is to be as high up in that table as you can. So to say it doesn't mean anything is nonsense. It means a lot. Like, you're desperate to be at the top of it. You're desperate to be in the playoffs. I just think as much as you shape it, as we've had lots of new players in, we haven't quite got together yet. We're still in a great spot. We win our game in hand, we're probably in the playoffs. You've got, 5-6 games in December? You win those and I guarantee we'll be in the top two. So, yeah, table's always important.
Yeah, it certainly is. Thanks for pointing out the ridiculous comment there as well. Ruthless from you two this week. Listen, of course, this is the final game before the international break. We're going to look at the lineup, but firstly, let's hear the thoughts of Ipswich Town manager Kieran McKenna.
Of course, it's better to be not getting asked the question about when your first away win's going to come. So, from that point of view, but other than that, it doesn't change much. I don't think there's ever been a point where we really dropped belief in our ability to go away from home and get a result. And the fact that we did last weekend doesn't change massively going into this game. The fact that we know that we're facing a good opponent, a good team, play good football, have lots of good players, have a deep squad with good options. And it's going to be a really hard game. But also we believe that we have a lot of those same qualities and we're a hard opponent for anyone in this league. And if we can give our very best performance, we'll have a good chance to get a result. So, yeah, it hasn't changed too much. Yeah, I think, look, mixed, of course. We, from a results point of view, would like to be a few points ahead of what we are, but the table is really, really tight. I think, yeah, it does feel to me, to be honest, a little bit like two separate chunks of games. The first four felt really different than the last 8 in terms of the group. There's different players playing in the games, players who aren't here anymore were playing for us then, players who've arrived, who've gone on and are going on to be important players for the team weren't here at that point. So the first 4 games probably a separate point, and I've spoken probably enough about the challenges of the summer and what that case was. I think since we've got the group together, there's been some positive performances in there with definitely some inconsistencies and some things to sort of work through, and we're going to have to continue to do that.
The voice of calm, Ipswich Town manager Kieran McKenna giving us his assessment heading into Ipswich Town's trip to Swansea. Right, we're going to take a look at Ipswich Town's starting lineup and break it down with, of course, Adam Tanner and Westy. 6 changes today, Westy. I mean, it's been a busy week for Ipswich, and some of those changes you'd expect to see. What are your thoughts on the starting lineup?
I like it. It's Greaves in for Kipre, who I think Kipre's been doing particularly well. Matsila and Taylor, I think we're going to see that away from home a lot more. It's a bit more combative than when Kayuste's in there. And then Nunez in the 10 spot instead of Akpom. I don't mind it. And then Philogene for Clark. I said like for like. I think one's got 6 goals, one's got 5 goals. So there's plenty of goals from that right-hand side. It's just strange for me. I don't know what your thoughts are. 6 changes. We had 9 changes the other week. We had 6 changes the week before that. I think the one where we won back-to-back, we only had 1 change. As a player, don't you think it's nice to know that you're playing every week?
Yeah, I tend to agree, but I think it's a different era. The sports science and everything will probably dictate a lot of these decisions. And Kieran's made it clear over this 3-game window, he was going to make changes. But I tend to agree with you, Westy. I find it strange. To me, the centre-half position is pivotal. So I would like my 2 centre-halves to know probably they're going to be playing week in, week out. And we've alluded to it earlier. Kipre's been outstanding, and now he finds himself on the bench. Big game for Greaves. There's been a lot of focus on him prior to him being left out. So I think it's a big game for him. And the other one is McAteer. He's really got to sort of come up to the plate, step up and have a really good performance and try and make a goal or at least score one.
Yeah, I think that, like you say, the centre-halves is big for me. If I've got centre-halves that play every game with Matthesiwa in front and you have that relationship, it's just so solid. You just get used to it. Like when we were good, it was Wolfie and Burgess, right? And Morsey. And we had that little diamond and not much got through us. And it was so easy. We knew it was coming every week and we changed other bits around it. Just seems strange to me. It's a lot of changes. Like the only other teams you see doing it are like your Arsenals, your Liverpools, who are playing Champions League and Premier League, and they have to switch it up so much. No one else in the Championship has the luxury to do it. Whether or not you should be doing it, I don't know. He really trusts the squad.
And I think, as Adam says, their sports science probably has a lot to play in that. And there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we have no clue about. And the club is very good at sort of keeping that all in-house, isn't it? So I think there's a lot of thought that will obviously go into that rotation. And actually, on that note, let's take a look at the bench. Because, we know Kieran likes to use the subs bench. Centre-halves usually don't get a look, do they? So Kipra's probably going to stay on that bench. But then you've got the likes of Kayuste, you've got Walle Egeli, Philogene, Akpom, Zon. I mean, 4 or 5 subs is definitely a possibility today. Do you feel if the game needs it?
I think so. I mean, nearly all of them, keeper aside, you could probably put into the squad, into the starting 11, and it wouldn't really weaken it as much. I mean, you've got Philogene on the bench and Egeli on the bench. We've been eulogising about them earlier. There is a luxury that Kieran's got, but he does. Historically, he likes to make a number of subs. So, like you said, it could be 3 to 5 of them coming on around about the hour mark, hopefully to rest some of the others because we're 2 or 3 goals up. And
you don't always, as a manager, talk about the knocks and perhaps the small strains that players might be carrying. There might be a dead leg amongst those players that Kieran doesn't want to talk about. You don't necessarily hear everything, do you?
No, you don't. But it used to happen that you just turn out, if the team wins, you turn out the same team. It was sort of a given. And like you say with the sports science, I've seen games now. I'm doing one of my coaching badges at the moment, and we're doing things on fitness. And sometimes the sports science guys going, oh, he's in the red zone, which they're monitoring their heart rate during the games and saying he's more likely to get injured. Take him off. And he might be on 2 goals with 10 minutes to go and having the game of his life, and they'll go, oh, we'll take him off. And it's just, I don't know if it's like sports science gone mad that they're dictating to a manager if players should or shouldn't play. Like, I think you sometimes know better, don't you? Like, it used to be done on body language. If a guy looks tired, you'd take him off. But It's not quite the same
You're
anymore.
old school, aren't you, Westy? It's interesting to hear your thoughts, especially obviously with your coaching knowledge as well. Great to hear your thoughts on the starting lineup. Right, back from another trip from Poland. It's good to have you back, Glenn, and almost a bit of a novelty to have you in the country at the minute. Let's hear the thoughts on today's opposition from our lead commentator, Glenn Wheeler. Welcome back.
Yeah, thanks, James. It's good to be back. And Alan Sheehan has made 3 changes to the 11 that started the 2-1 defeat at Preston on Wednesday night as the Swans look to avert back-to-back losses. Chelsea loanee Ishe Samuel-Smith replaces Kylan Casey in a back 3 that also contains skipper Ben Cabango and former Town man Cameron Burgess. Attacker Zidane Inusa has overcome a knee issue that kept him out of the defeat at Preston. He makes his 8th league start in place of Liam Cullen. And Swansea's danger man today will be Slovenia international striker Zan Vipotnik, who has 8 goals this season, with 6 of those coming in the Championship. In terms of Alan Sheehan's substitute bench, the Swansea manager will be able to call upon fellow Irishman Adam Eder, who started his career at Norwich City, making 116 appearances for Town's great rivals before joining Celtic in 2024.
Glenn, thank you very much indeed for that look into today's opposition. Good to have you back in the country, and we'll, of course, look forward to his commentary. Again, we sort of mentioned Cam Burgess. Of course, he's starting today, and we wish him luck, but not too much luck. In fact, I'm fine if he has a bad game.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, let's crack on then. Let's hear from one of Ipswich Town's players. George Hirst has been talking to Town TV's Howie Bloom. Over to you guys.
Steve, how are you feeling for this one today?
Yeah, ready to go. I know the boys are excited. We've done the work during the week. Obviously had a game Tuesday, which we've recovered well from. So, yeah, just excited to get out there and go and hopefully put on a good performance.
What sort of game are you expecting from Swansea?
You know, they're a very good team in possession of the ball, from what we've seen. So, yeah, we know it's going to be a tough game. I think we're going to need to be at our absolute best, and I think we're in a position where we can go and do that now. You know, building on the last couple of results, it was a shame not to get the win midweek, but it was another result which we can build on, learn from, and hopefully take into this game.
Yeah, 2 goals for you in the last away fixture, and I'm sure you'll be looking to build on that today.
Yeah, for sure. Try and build on it every week, every single game. So, yeah, hopefully if I can get on the scoreboard again today, then that'll put us somewhere in the right direction to getting the 3 points.
And with this being the last game before the international break, how important would a win be today?
Yeah, I think it would be huge. You know, just for us as a group, it would be. You know, it's always nice to go away on your break, and you know, international duty with a win under your belt makes the week after that a little bit easier. So, yeah, hopefully we can go and get the result today, and then come back next week with a lot of confidence.
Good luck today.
That's all. Thank you.
Thoughts there of George Hirst. Is a very mature head, isn't he? He's got a great head on those shoulders. A great guy, and good to see him getting a few goals, and hopefully he can kick on today. Right, we're nearly ready to hand over sort of from the Town TV studio to the commentary box. I'm going to push you guys for some predictions. It is going to be a tough away game, as all games are, but I'm assuming you're both predicting a win today, because we always do on Town TV.
Yeah, I'm going 2-1. 2-1 victory. George Hirst and Jack Clark, goal scorers.
We should have a little prediction league here, I think.
Yeah, I like it. 4-1.
4-1.
Yeah.
Back-to-back 4-1.
No, because we just do Watford, didn't
away wins.
Okay, there you go.
That's right.
You just recovered that really quickly.
No.
Yeah, 4-1. I think finally we put some things together that we need to put together. And we actually hit the back of the net. We create chances, we just haven't scored them yet. I think today could be a day where they will just all find the net.
George Hirst continues his task on the way to 20 goals for the season. Your prediction earlier on in the season, and it's looking all right, isn't it? 5 goals for Hirst.
He'll get his 20 easy, yeah. I think he'll get 2 today. Clark might nick 1. Then we'll have something special, like an overhead kick maybe from a centre-half. What do you think?
Sure. Sounds like a great match to me. Hopefully that is the case. Don't forget, from select regions, you can buy your match passes for £10, and you can listen to the dulcet tones of Glenn Wheeler and Ian Westlake for today's full match commentary as Ipswich Town travel to Swansea. Thanks very much for tuning in. Thanks for everyone watching behind the scenes. It's Curly on the next one, folks, and we'll see you all then. Good luck to Ipswich Town. Thanks for tuning in. It's bye for now.
Just like football, business moves fast. And when you need funding, there's no time to wait. At Fleximize, we keep things simple. No penalties, no red cards, just fast, flexible business loans. We only ask for the essentials and you'll get a decision within 24 hours. Once approved, the funds are in your account the same day. Fleximize, let's fund your goals.
It's a new season, a new challenge, a new home. Some new faces, same support.
The Pesket is there on the follow-up to make it 3.
We need you again. Let's do this together.
When we started this, did we ever think we'd have a partnership with a football club? Absolutely not. This is beyond our wildest dreams. We pretty much exclusively hire graduates at Halo. We're very proud of our Suffolk roots. Halo's a pretty passionate, positive, enthusiastic place generally, but when you've also got what's going on at the football club, and it's just blending passion and enthusiasm.